I think I would have absolutely wet myself laughing if, at the end of Spider-Man 2, when Spider-Man is swinging down the streets, and helicopters are following him,
and he got cut in half by the rotors.
If he went right through the rotors, and the movie ended with a big red splotch on the wall, I would have peed myself.
Why did I know? Why did I know?
I don't know.
You would make that comment.
I don't know. You knew exactly where I was going. Welcome to Spider-Man 2 with Pork Chop, Trace, and Peaches. I'm Richard.
I'm Noah.
That was not pre-planned.
Nope.
It would have been the most refreshing end to a superhero movie ever. Splat!
That sounds like a Robot Chicken sketch.
Oh, come on.
That'd be funny.
It would have been funny.
That sounds like something you would see on Amazon now. Out of like The Boys or Invincible.
Yeah, actually, that would be a Boys type of sketch. Yes. It was like the opening episode where the speed guy runs right.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, the main character's girlfriend. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
right on. He's holding the arms.
Yeah. We have a slight bend towards the dark here at Pork Chop, Trace, and Peaches.
And we're supposed to be talking about Spider-Man today, which is like the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yes, it is Spider-Man, but I will tell you what, because I led with that for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I was bored through most of this movie.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I was.
All right. So this is part 2 of our Spider-Man movie retrospective. Go check out episode 1 if you haven't. The link will be somewhere. Bored while watching this. That's weird, because most people consider this the good one out of the trilogy. Out of the Sam Raimi trilogy. A lot of people think this is like the best one. At least from what I've heard.
Well, we'll see. Now, I've only seen part of 3. So when we do 3, it'll be a brand new viewing for me.
Okay.
And I'll have a pretty good feel for that.
I wonder if that's going to play a part in your, like, verdict. It's like, oh, this was fresh, so it was new. So I like it better than the other two.
Well, fresh and new does not necessarily translate to good.
Does not, but I wonder if it will play a part. Anyway.
It'll play a part, probably. I'll tell you right now the thing that will color that.
Okay.
Right. There is a sequence I've seen on Instagram a lot, and it's the Tom Hardy Venom movies, where he's in a convenience store and the guy's trying to rob the convenience store and Venom just like eats the guy, right? And because I find that scene particularly compelling and interesting and well done, and it makes me want to watch the Tom Hardy movies. It really does, and I know nothing about them.
First one's okay.
All right,
First one's kind of fun.
Okay.
It's got that, yeah.
But
not sure how I feel about the other ones, but
and I don't even know how many there are.
I think there's 3.
There's 3? Okay. And so Hollywood has this thing. Everything has to be done in 3s except for Jaws and Aliens.
Anything they can stretch past it.
Predator.
And Pirates of the Caribbean.
There you go. Yes, anyways, Spider-Man 2. I have always thought, and I think I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in the first Spider-Man.
Okay.
Tobey Maguire's performance is plastic.
Okay. Not wooden, plastic.
You could replace a mannequin face over his, and you would get the same level of emotional reaction to any given scene.
Okay. I don't know if you did mention that in the last one.
He walks through Spider-Man with this absolute blank face.
I think I was the one saying that last.
Were you the one saying that?
Because last video, I'm gonna have to go back and look and like
we're gonna have
try
to review ourselves.
review ourselves. But like, I think you were the one that was like, I kind of liked the chemistry and the relationship between him and MJ.
I did.
You know?
I did like the relationship early on. You know, and I spent the whole time thinking, okay, what's the time frame? They were seniors in high school.
Just about to graduate.
Right. And so now they're 19 or 20 years old. They're, right?
Something like, yeah. It's been like 2 years, they said.
Yeah, something like that. And they still have this, this long-distance, painful love affair thing going on. And I wanted to see a little more acting.
Yeah.
Right? A little more expressiveness. But I honestly think that I have seen more maturity in the acting of Spider-Man by Tobey Maguire in the clips that I've seen when he's together with
Tom Holland and
Andrew Garfield. And I honestly think that young actors, and by young I'm going to say younger than 30.
Yeah.
All right? I think they lack the life experience to really bring the emotion of the character to life.
I would agree. I think I would agree in general.
And I think that just limits the performance of...
That's not to say that they can't be good, because we've seen good actors
in
that age range. I just don't think that's the norm.
That was... Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No,
yes.
I agree.
You got that?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so that's probably the biggest thing that I've got going here. And that not only applies to Maguire, but Kirsten Dunst's performance.
And Franco.
And Franco.
Yeah. I think all three are kind of hindered by age.
And then you compare.
Because I've seen Franco get better.
I am sure he has.
And I think he had something happened. He's in trouble. Like I don't know what he did. I heard something. I heard that his reputation is tanked. I don't know what happened.
I have no idea.
I know that as an actor, and that's all I'll speak to on that, because I am not aware of his situation. I know that I have seen him perform better in other movies. So,
and they are limited by the script that they're given,
yeah.
And they're limited by the direction that they're given,
and I think the dialogue in this one, much like the first, I think the dialogue in this one is better than the first one. But that's not saying a lot. I think I will say the movie, the dialogue in the script is cheesy. Like I summarized this movie in one word. It's cheesy. This movie is a little bit cheesy.
Okay.
And last movie I described as awkward. This movie I'm describing as cheesy. So, okay. I don't know if you saw my counter of how many times I said awkward in the last video.
I did not.
I had a counter going every time I said the word awkward. I think it was 20 something. This time it's going to be cheesy. How many times?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Future me is going to hate editing this one. No, I found it. I found it to be a little heavy on the cheese this time. The
heavy on the cheese. I love that.
It's good though. It's good. It's fun. It's still the early 2000s, and it reeks of that era, and it feels like a comic book brought to life, which is, I think, what Sam Raimi was going for.
And I had to keep reminding myself of that, because there was a whole bunch of stuff that I saw that I just thought was, okay, wait a minute, that could have been done more realistically.
Yes.
And every time I had that thought, I thought to myself, it's a comic book.
It's a comic book, and I think these three movies in particular are very much so. We think back to the movies that came out before this. The first superhero movie to hit mainstream success, for real, was Blade. Wesley Snipes' Blade.
Really?
Yeah. And that came out before this. That came out before X-Men. That came out before Fantastic Four. That came out in I think it was the mid-90s. That was the first superhero movie to really hit mainstream success. And there were tries before it. They did. I think they tried to make a Nick Fury movie with Kurt Russell, based off of the old Nick Fury, the white Nick Fury.
The white thing.
That would be really cool to see as
98.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to see as a variant in one of these multiverse movies. To see
Kurt
Russell.
Oh, that would be so cool. And he would do it too.
Him and Samuel L. Jackson together as Nick Fury would be really fun.
That would be great.
Real. Okay, side tangent aside,
and they're both about the same age.
Exactly. And they were in Hateful Eight together. That's a Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, they were.
Walton Goggins is in that too. Yes. We need to do that movie. I haven't seen that movie. I've seen clips of it.
Oh, Hateful Eight is great.
I've heard.
Yeah, it's like a typical Tarantino. It's long on dialogue, so there are moments that drag just a little bit. But
we gotta do a Tarantino retro. I think at some point.
Hateful Eight has a scene that's going to make you just rock back in your chair and say, "Oh my God!"
I think I've seen it.
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay, so back on track. Yeah. Sorry. the first Marvel. I will say Marvel, not superhero. I should have clarified that.
Okay.
The first Marvel movie to hit mainstream success was Blade, and which is incredible because it's Blade. I mean, Blade's a popular character, but he's not Spider-Man. So it wasn't Hulk, it wasn't Spider-Man, it wasn't Fantastic Four, it wasn't any of their like A-list, At that time, I would think Blade would be somewhere in B. Very popular among comic fans, maybe not as popular among like the normal, like the normies.
If I'm going to be pretentious, was the Blade character always black?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
But I mean, that movie kind of launched everything else. The thing is, though, what Blade and the X-Men movies were doing is that they were trying to kind of legitimize comic books, which is why
there was a big push for that.
You had the leather, you had the realistic sunglasses. A lot of the goofier aspects of the comic books were toned down.
Okay.
High on action, high on adrenaline, low on cheese.
Okay.
Low on comic book. And I think the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, this is my whole point after this, 5-minute tangent, is that Sam Raimi did the opposite. He leaned into the comic. He was trying to take a comic book and put it on screen.
Okay.
Whereas everyone else was trying to translate a comic book to the screen.
Oh, it's an interesting... That's a critical difference.
And I noticed it, and it clicked for me yesterday when I was rewatching Spider-Man 2, because I started watching, because you asked me this question, last time, what did I think of like the action and the stunts and everything, and I'm watching the train fight specifically from this movie, where they're on top of the train, and I'm watching, it's obviously CGI, I'm wondering if they mocapped anything for it. I would think they might have done some early primitive mocap for it. But I'm watching the way Spider-Man is throwing punches. And they look awkward. They look stilted. They're unrealistic.
Okay.
And because he's like kind of in like a squat, like a linebacker, and he's kind of going, meh, meh. And he's doing that.
Okay.
And he's reaching. But there's no hip rotation, there's no driving through his feet, not at all how you would throw a punch. And I'm looking at him like, this looks so awkward, but then I start noticing his finishing poses, the way he ends the punch, looks like it's taken straight out of a 1970s comic book.
Oh, okay.
So the punch looks awkward, but the finishing pose of said punch looks like a comic book pose. Like, all you would need to do is add some pow bang sound effects. I think, honestly, if you put some subtle ones in there, I think you could make this movie a lot funnier to watch the fight scenes, make it more fun.
Do a little Batman camp.
Like, you just throw a couple little, like, speech bubbles up there going bang, pow. not even big ones, just subtle ones, I think it would be really funny.
It's really kind of ironic that you would bring this up as a point, because last night I spent a great deal of time teaching one of our adult students how to punch properly and effectively.
Well,
yeah,
because
and get hip rotation. I mean, that was just...
there's a video game. The God of War series. I'm sure John has talked to you about
it. Relentlessly.
There's the main character. You know the
hang on 1 second. If you're watching this, Jonah, that was not a complaint.
You know you've heard of the main character. His name's Kratos.
Yes.
Okay, immortal.
I've actually seen some of it. I would like to play that.
Okay.
You heard that correctly.
I saw some behind the scenes of the mocap stunt guy.
Yeah.
Who did all the mocap for it.
Right.
And if you look at some of the punches, it's a lot of him like lunging.
Okay.
And punching mid-air like a Superman punch.
Okay.
And the stunt guy was talking about, like, this is not how you punch. This is not at all how you punch.
Right.
But I did what they asked because that's the job. And then I realized this dude's a god. He doesn't need to create momentum.
Right.
So I had that kind of realization. I'm like, okay, they didn't care about making Spider-Man look real when he fight. They made him look like a comic book when he fought. In this movie in particular.
Well, that's I'm actually glad that you shared that. Real quick, was the stunt performer as big as the character in the video game? That dude was massive.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So but in terms of Spider-Man 2, that makes a whole lot of sense. That puts everything into a better perspective for appreciating what they were trying to do in the movie.
Because it occurred to me. Because I'm like, there's no way you're generating that much power. And then I'm like, well, he's a superhero. He's got more strength, obviously. Like, he's super strong.
Right.
So he doesn't need to generate power the same way that a human needs to generate power. That's what I was realizing as I'm there. Like, he's stuck to a wall punching Doc Ock. He has no leverage.
Right.
He doesn't need leverage. He's Spider-Man.
Well, so I kept telling myself to just stop viewing this from the perspective of anything that I would understand about fighting or physics. I kept telling myself it's a comic book.
Yeah.
And it's a comic book come to life, and because not only stuff like that, but Doc Ock comes into the cafeteria where Peter is having lunch with Mary Jane, where they're confessing, she's confessing her love, and he's saying, I can't be with you. And then, the car comes tumbling through, and Doc Ock comes in and grabs Peter by the throat, and he says, tell your friend Spider-Man, meet me at the clock tower at 3 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
And Peter says, I don't. Doc Ock takes Peter and launches him into a brick wall, and he falls down. Now, if
comes down on top.
I mean, if Doc Ock truly believed that Peter Parker was an average human being, that move would have killed him or put him in a hospital for 3 weeks. He would have been knocked unconscious, and the message wouldn't have been delivered.
Yep.
And I thought to myself, I realized that at some point writers and directors said, it should be a real cool scene.
Yep.
But the movie for me would have been better if Doc Ock and the brains of the mechanical arms would have realized he needs to be set down and released so that he can deliver the message.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to see.
Stuff like that.
That's what,
Thinking with their brain,
Exactly. I mean, you have all these superior brains here, but they're acting like the Hulk. And wow.
There's a couple situations like why would you jump? So there's two things. I like Doc Ock in this movie. I'm gonna start with that.
Yes, I do too.
I like Doc Ock in this movie.
Alfred Molina.
Yes.
Great
absolutely
performance.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic. One thing I will say, Raimi nailed it with Goblin and Doc Ock. And for completely separate reasons. Okay. We talked the last video about Green Goblin. I'm not going to get too much into that.
Right.
Obviously, Willem Dafoe is a fantastic Green Goblin.
Yes.
Pretty much perfect casting. I'm not going to say that Alfred Molina was the, is to Doc Ock what Defoe is to Green Goblin.
Okay.
I feel like there's some other actors who could portray Doc Ock very well.
Okay.
But I think that's because Doc Ock as a character is a little more... Oh, what's the word? I think he's going to be slightly easier to perform adequately. I think a wider range of actors could do it.
Doc Ock has a basic character trait that's easier to perform.
Exactly.
That Green Goblin doesn't.
Yes.
In that he has humanity and he's basic kindness.
Yes.
Whereas
Goblin is a schizo. He has two.
Yeah.
It's not schizophrenia, but he has a split.
But even the Doc Ock, Octavius, right, as a parent, would have been a kinder, more loving parent to his children than what was
Norman.
Norman was to his son.
Yeah, that's fair.
And and there's your critical difference between the two.
Yeah.
And that makes Doc Ock easier because tapping back into his humanity is the key to solving the whole problem.
Yes. And I think that's why I like about this movie is that we got the Green Goblin last time. We got the crazy villain. This time we got the human villain.
Well,
and I liked that about this movie is because for as rushed as these scripts kind of are,
yes,
and for as fast paced as these movies kind of go outside of the MJ Peter talking scenes, which just kind of drag. The movie does a good job of establishing Otto's humanity and making you understand Otto.
Which the first movie doesn't, and this is not a criticism of the first movie, it just doesn't do that with Norman.
No.
But I don't think you can with Norman because I don't think it's there in the character writing.
No.
So
it takes a lot longer with Norman because if you want to make Norman more of a human character, you got to spend more time making him more layered. I'll say this: the Spider-Man video games, for PS4 and PS5, are slowly building towards Green Goblin coming in the third because there's three right now. So there was the first one, there's a Miles Morales spinoff. And then there's a sequel. So Spider-Man Miles Morales, and then Spider-Man 2 as video games. Anyway.
What is Spider-Man Miles Morales?
You don't know about Miles Morales, do you?
This is new to me. Do they have a Hispanic Spider-Man?
Half Hispanic, half black. So what happened is Spider-Man...
Two demographics in one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. In the Ultimate Universe, he's actually a really good character, I will say this.
Oh, I believe it.
He's a fantastic character. Yeah. So in the Ultimate Universe, which is a,
Okay.
It's not the main
no, that's fine. That's fine.
Spider-Man dies, and then Miles takes over as Spider-Man when he gets bit by by a similar spider. So, and then he got brought to the main universe continuity, so now they team up, and there's only like 4 or 5 actual spider people in comics, which is surprising considering how many, like, in the mainstream.
Gotcha.
I'm getting on tangent.
That's okay.
We
encourage tangents and rabbit holes here. We do. We love them. That's,
The games are setting up Norman as, because in the first game, it's a Rogues Gallery and Doc Ock.
Okay.
It's the Sinister Six and Doc Ock.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sequel, it's Venom and Kraven and a couple other villains. And then in the third, it looks like we're going to get Green Goblin. And they've been doing a good job of establishing Norman as a corrupt businessman, a power-hungry mayor, and a father who ultimately cares about his son and is worried that he's going to lose his son the way he lost his wife. So games are developed.
They actually gave him a third dimension.
They're giving, exactly.
Nice.
That was my point. That was getting to is that they with Green Goblin, if you really want to establish Green Goblin as a big threat, like if you want to give him layers, you kind of have to spend time building him up.
So, just out of curiosity, is any of that rooted in the comics?
Yes.
Did the comics ever give Norman?
Oh yeah.
humanity.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
I mean, Spider-Man's been around for, 60 years now? I mean, they've kind of done
yeah.
everything with his character. Like I said, they've also assassinated every character in the Spider-Man comics at one point or another. No one's safe.
So,
they've kind of done everything.
I had a moment. It was just a flash of a moment where I had to appreciate your profession, your craft. Peter Parker jumping over the buildings, flying through the air. I'm back! And I watched the sequence. He falls down. He hits the car, bounces off the car, hits the other car, falls to the ground, and he hits the ground and he stays down like this.
Mm-hmm.
Before he sits back up. And in the moment that stunt actor was down on the ground like this, I realized his haircut was different.
Yep, it was 100%.
Okay, you guys saw it's not just me, right? And I thought to myself, oh yes, the camera angle where the stuntman is trained never to turn his face towards the camera, and the pause was
camera's like there, and he's like this.
Yeah, exactly. And the pause was just long enough that I was like, that's a different hairstyle.
The edit held just long enough. If you were looking.
A smidgen too long.
Yep.
Right?
That's also one of my favorite types of stunts as a TikTok, where you hit the top of something and then bounce off into something else.
Okay,
and
then fall down, right?
Yeah, I love.
And so I'm figuring the guy fell from maybe 6 feet up, 5 feet up, something like
just
that.
Just out of camera frame.
Right, just to hit the car, bounce off and hit the ground and not kill himself.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I caught it. I caught it, but it was still fun. It was well done. I really like that. All right.
That was fun.
I'll be honest with you. If I never see the Uncle Ben lesson in a Spider-Man movie again, please. Okay, I get it. Parker's 20.
We're gonna see it in this Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, because you kind of have to. But it was like I think. So I had the kind of knee-jerk reaction to that yesterday, and then it was this morning I was getting ready to come here, and I thought, it wasn't just the Uncle Ben lesson part 2. He goes into the burning building as Peter. He saves the kid, and on the street he learns that someone didn't make it out of the building. And I thought, if you are in a no-win situation and you have to make a choice between the kid or the older person, you choose the kid every time. They have more life to live.
Okay,
Garp. First.
Minor spoilers, but that's exactly what Garp says in One Piece later on.
Really?
We're not at that point, but he's like teaching Kobe.
Okay.
Like if you have the choice between an old man and a child, you always choose the child.
Yeah.
At least I'm pretty sure about that.
Okay. So
that trolley problem's been answered.
Well, no, because I'll be totally honest with you. A long time ago, I mean, this is going back probably 20, 25 years. Your mom and I had a discussion. If there's a fire in the house, and we both agreed, without even discussing it, we save the kids first.
Yeah.
You don't worry about the spouse. You get the kids first.
Yeah.
It was easy.
Yeah.
There was no discussion. There was no. I mean, it was just like it was a statement of fact, and we both were saying the same thing at the same time. It's so yeah. But the lesson for Peter Parker to learn is you can't save everybody. And when I realized that, I realized this wasn't the Uncle Ben lesson part 2. This was actually an important life lesson. He can do everything right and still lose.
I think it's layered. There's a couple things because he afterwards. So the movie has this idea of choice, and it's a classic Spider-Man conundrum. And it's like it's the writers again. It's the writers again. It's the writers never letting Peter be happy.
Yeah, that's true. You've said that before on more than one occasion.
It's that same thing. Well, I mean, typically you get a classic, and it works with any Spider-Man-esque hero. It works with Spider-Man. It works with Invincible. It works with it can work with Superman. To less of an extent with Superman because he's already so freaking godlike. With his powers. But it's the overwhelmed superhero. It's how do you balance your superhero identity with your individual identity?
Right.
And that's the big thing that this movie is hitting on, and what choice do you make to do that? And the thing about Spider-Man is that he is so good-natured at heart, and this is, again, why I said the first movie freaking ruined the great power, great responsibility line, is because the comics allowed Spider-Man to see the consequences of his actions when he's selfish. So when you get to this point in his story where he's struggling maintaining that work-life balance,
right,
you feel for him because he knows all too well what happens when he stops being Spider-Man. When he takes a day off, he knows what happens.
Yes.
And it's more relatable in the comics. The movie does it fine. This movie does it adequately. I like what they do in this movie. I like that they tried to do it. I don't think it's done quite as well. It comes down to, does Peter choose to help people as Spider-Man, or does Peter choose to put himself forward? And ultimately, ultimately, and in a lot of runs, he finds a way to maintain that balance. There's a fantastic run, ironically. It's a fantastic run of comics. It's probably one of the best Spider-Man runs in recent memory. And it's where Doc Ock, unironically, it's Doc Ock, trades mind swaps with Peter and becomes Spider-Man. And it's called Superior Spider-Man because Doc essentially sets out to prove that he could be a better Spider-Man than Peter.
Oh, that would be an interesting read.
And he does.
Has it been novelized?
I'm pretty I don't know if it's been novelized, but I'm pretty sure you could find a graphic novel run of it.
Right.
You can find it as a collection. He does. I say he does. He's ruthless. He kills people, and that's the comic where Doc punches a villain and punches his jaw off and realizes, oh crap, Spider-Man was holding back on me this whole time.
Oh, what a great realization.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
It's fantastic. And really what happens is Doc finally he stops being such a ruthless villain. And he starts seeing things through Peter's perspective. However, in the process, he aces all of Peter's courses while being a full-time superhero, and creating an entire Parker Industries company and becoming a multi-billionaire. It's an interesting comic run. You might enjoy.
I might actually enjoy that.
We might pick it up and read it because that'd be fun. But
wow,
the movie does touch upon.
Well, actually, I have two questions about superhero movies, and it's just kind of not related to Spider-Man 2, but it's related to the conversation. Mm-hmm. One, why do superhero movies always kill off villains too soon? Why is killing the villain always the answer?
Because they never tried to do a universe before this, and you got to make the. I think that's how they try to ground it in reality.
Okay.
I think they try to but X-Men didn't. X-Men didn't kill Magneto.
No, they didn't, and that was a good thing because it was a good thing. Many better movies, right?
It did.
Well, this whole concept of work-life balance with superheroes, I have this image in my head of that conversation between Tony Stark, Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Who else belongs in that conversation? Hawkeye? Hawkeye's
kind of a full-time superhero.
But he's got a wife and kids.
In the movies. In the comics, he's a bachelor.
Oh, is he a bachelor? Okay.
That is something. Right. Actually, that run right there behind you.
Yes.
In the thin books.
Yes.
The white ones, My Life as a Weapon and Onward.
Okay.
Actually touches upon the fact that he's awful in relationships.
Okay.
He's got a lot of them.
I stand corrected.
But I mean, to your point. It's not a work-life balance, but it is a personal life work.
Even jumping ship to DC. Batman would be interesting in that conversation.
Yeah.
So if you put Tony Stark and Chris Evans and if you put Tony Stark and Captain America and Hawkeye and Batman and Superman and I'm losing the Russian assassin,
Black Widow.
If you put them in a room and you had them talk about work-life balance, and Spider-Man is so much younger than them, what would they say to him? How would they counsel him? That would actually be... It's not comic book. It's not action adventure. It would be an incredible conversation. How do you teach someone that you can't save everybody?
There's a... I don't remember if it's the... It might be the original Civil War. I don't remember what comic line there is, but Iron Man's trying to recruit Spider-Man to, like, an Avengers team. Mm-hmm. And the funniest panel is at the end of the conversation, Tony says, "We have money," and Spider-Man says, "Oh, thank God," and like collapses in a hug. It's like, "Oh, thank God." So,
gotcha. It just as an intellectual thing, you know. But that's probably the same conversation that teachers have to have with doctors, with surgeons, with nurses, with EMTs, with... did you guys talk about that when you were going through your training?
No. They should have, but no.
Rule 1, Doc can save everybody?
Nope. No, rule 1 was you can't save everybody.
Oh, you can't save everybody. Okay, yeah.
In terms of that, I mean, that there's always the what you see and taking that to your personal life, like how your work affects your personal life versus how do you balance your personal time with what you do.
Yeah.
And Peter is notoriously bad at it.
Yes, he is.
He is notoriously bad at it. And right when he starts to get good at it and figure things out, the writers take it away from him.
Well, okay, so... And
I will not stop bitching about the Spider-Man writers until they start writing better Spider-Man comics where they give him a happy ending for once. Jeez. There's one, I saw a video for it recently, and it's a 60-year-old Peter.
Okay.
Still Spider-Man.
Right.
Stopping a mugging. Gets shot.
Right.
Like 3 times through the gut.
Right.
Is in the hospital as Spider-Man with the mask on.
Right.
And he's like, did anyone come to like ask or see how I was doing? And the doctors are like, we got a line down the street of New Yorkers that you have saved. And it's a really heartwarming story because it's like 3 days people are coming in, and finally Mary Jane, who he's married to in this one, gets to see him, and they have this really heartfelt conversation, and it's really cute, and then she turns to leave, and then you think he's about to die because you hear the monitor flatline.
Okay.
And then she turns around, and he's out of bed. He is bare ass in the street, in the hospital gown, stopping another mugging as Spider-Man at 60 years old. And then they end the comic with him and Mary Jane at home, and then there's just a bunch of gift baskets from all the New York people as he's about to go. That is the happiest ending I have seen to a Spider-Man comic in years. I love it. Give me more.
Well, so I could have done without the Catherine Ross, Butch Cassidy, and the Sundance Kid and Graduate references in this movie. All right, the music, the wedding gown at the scene, I mean, all of that stuff. However, I did really appreciate the change in Mary Jane's face when Peter swings out at the end of the movie, because he has to be himself, and he has to go, right?
Yeah.
When she goes from this euphoric moment to the sudden realization, oh my God, this is what my life is going to be like. He's always going to be going out, and I'm never going to know if he's coming back.
So, and that's the thing. The Mary Jane that I just talked about in the comic.
Yeah.
That's the Mary Jane people like.
Okay.
The one who accepts that, doesn't hold it against Peter.
Okay.
And loves him no matter what.
Okay.
Gwen Stacy's kind of like that in many continuities.
Okay.
And she was like that in the Andrew Garfield ones, which is, I think, why people like Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy so much.
Okay.
Is because she not only understood it and accepted it, she encouraged it.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the issues people have with, especially Kirsten Dunst's MJ, is that she kind of goes back on it. Once she realizes that this is going to be her life, I believe in the third one, she's kind of wishy-washy, like she's like, I can't do this anymore, sort of thing. I don't remember off the top of my head. I haven't seen the third one in years, but that realization, it's like, girl, you signed up for this.
But that still doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy.
I didn't say that it was easy.
Right.
Don't hold it against him. You agreed to this.
But everybody has to go through that learning curve. We're still talking about people then in their early 20s.
Yes.
Right.
And this is one thing that I love about the Invincible show, actually. Actually, people had the same gripe with Invincible, is that they did this exact same concept in the original comic run, and then they redid it in the show. So one of the things in the Invincible show, which is highly regarded across the board, the one thing that almost everyone universally agreed on is that his first girlfriend in the show is a raging narcissist who was written horribly.
Okay.
I half joke. So the character's name was Amber. She's not a superhero.
Okay.
They do the whole classic Peter Parker MJ where Invincible is hiding the fact that he's a superhero, all constantly dipping to go save the day. And when and she's getting frustrated with him, she's getting pissed off because he's it starts off with like, okay, understandable, you don't know what's going on. When he finally comes to admit to her, out of nowhere they reveal, oh yeah, I figured that out months ago. I'm still pissed at you. And tried to turn it into a you didn't tell me sort of trust thing, but it's like, you're mad at him for not showing up to help you at a soup kitchen as he's getting his ass beat on live TV, and you know that that's him. Like, you know that this is him, and you're still pissed at him for not showing up to the soup kitchen? He's fighting a monster that's intent on wrecking the city. You know, it's that situation. It was that situation. And that's what comic book fans don't like to see out of the love interest, is that attitude. That type of attitude, if they perceive that. One of the things I like in the Invincible show when it comes to the relationship, though, is that eventually they break up because it doesn't work. But he starts dating another superhero, which is actually really cool because they have their own problems, especially later in the comic run. But it's really cool because she understands the life of a superhero.
Sure.
They're both going out and doing this, so they're comfortable with that. They just worry about each other, obviously, because they know what they face. But it's a refreshing touch. It's one of the things I like about more modern superhero takes, is when you get that. When you get that perspective. It's no longer just the MJ, Lois Lane, non-powered superhero girlfriend.
Right.
Sometimes you get these superheroes who are in relationships with other crime fighters, and that just puts a whole new dynamic. That's really fun.
But it also makes it harder for them to spend time together if they're both off.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when the husband and wife show up to the same crime scene and then they're fighting for dominance? That would be fun. That would be fun. Who's done that? The Incredibles did a nice job of having them share.
Yeah,
and work with each other.
I think a lot of times they share.
Yeah,
they do a good job. It's like,
cool.
They just meet up. But
wow, have we meandered off the Spider-Man train?
This one is all over the.
Did you notice Peter McRobbie in this? I was wondering if you did or not. Peter McRobbie is the actor who played the priest Paul Lantham in Daredevil. Okay. And he's actually just kind of an anonymous Oscorp representative who shows up and probably just a working, movie and TV actor in New York City, and I was just like, I know him. That's because the Daredevil priest was such a good character.
Yes, he was.
Right, and so here is one of Paul Lantham's signature roles that kind of make me define him as an actor. He did that so well.
Nice. Okay.
Right, and then so yeah, there's just a little like. We go through, I hit all of the big points in my notes, and then I just start cleaning up all this stuff at the end.
Jameson is great, as always, in this one.
Jameson is great.
Jameson is far more played for comic relief, but you still get the great moment of Jameson going, maybe I was too hard on him. Mm-hmm. You know what? In the end, he was a thief! A criminal!
It's hysterical.
It's amazing. It's perfection. There's...
I think probably the funniest, for me, one of the funniest scenes in the movie was the elevator ride.
Yes.
Where the guy is looking at Spider-Man, and he's like, yeah, it rides up in the crotch a little.
That's fantastic.
That was hysterical. It was one of the funniest things.
The train stopping scene is a classic superhero. It's a great moment, aside from Peter's constipated face where he's going...
How would you play that one?
Oh, I have no idea.
Right.
I'm not an actor. Everyone makes the same comment. He looks constipated. He does. That's not a shot. The scene is still great. The scene is great not because of that.
No, there is only one problem with that scene. But outside of the fact that the New Yorkers on the train are just douchebags.
Yeah.
They are. They're right.
Yeah.
But I was being redundant. The hand comes out to grab Peter and grabs him like this, and you see all the padding in the costume.
Yeah.
Because Tobey Maguire without a shirt on was nowhere near as ripped. He's in good shape.
He's in good shape.
Nowhere near as
more
ripped.
Realistically in
right,
shape.
Yeah. Then and so you see all the padding on the pecs, and I was just like, oh, that was bad form. That was just bad form.
Yeah. But the scene is the same. It's essentially the same sort of scene as the bridge scene in the first movie, and the construction crane scene in Amazing Spider-Man, where the New York City comes to Spider-Man's aid and protects him.
Most definitely. Yes.
I think this is one of the better uses of that. I think this is one of the better versions of that.
Passing him over the head was a little melodramatic.
Again,
but
cheesy.
Everybody, the guy saying he's a kid.
That's the moment.
Huge.
That's the moment that's just like,
yeah,
Sam Raimi. That one actually got me for a second.
Yeah, that was good.
Like...
So there were a couple of the CGI was inconsistent in this movie.
Very,
right? But this is early CGI.
Oh yeah,
be a little bright. But there were two things that they missed that just jumped out at me as like, how the heck did you miss this? Right, so that whatever that energy ball is that they were creating,
the reactor,
right, and it's sucking all the metal in, and you see a scene where every person in the room has their earrings, their pens, their watches, everything fly off them.
Who's getting the pacemaker ripped out?
Oh God, that would have been so funny. That would have been as good.
Or they flew into it.
That would have been as good as the helicopter sploosh. Right? That would have been great. Somebody's knee ripping out of their life.
Someone gets outed. Some dude gets outed because his nipple piercings get ripped out.
Great. So the scene.
That was mine for the day.
The scene flashes to everything going into the ball, and then the camera switches to Octavius's wife, and her earrings are hanging perfectly down, and her jewelry is down, and I was just like, "How did you guys
Scripty had a day
that
off.
one?" Right?
Their continuity supervisor had a day off.
Yeah, they must have. And then the other one was that. Everybody flinched in the crowd, visibly flinched, when that little probe went into the back of his neck and all the things went in, except that everyone was in front of him, no one was behind him, no one could have seen it.
Yeah.
And I thought, come on, guys, how did you miss that one?
Oh, what was the...
That was it.
That was good. He was far quippier in this one. I liked it.
Okay.
You know how last time you were like, hush, mom and dad are talking, that line?
Yeah.
There was more of that. He catches the bag of coins and throws it back and says, here's your change.
Yep.
There's a couple lines in that whole fight where he's kind of quipping at Doc Ock, and now I was like, okay, this is very classic Spider-Man.
Yes, it is.
Kind of goofball.
Yeah.
During the fight, which is very fun. I love the Jameson. We need a name for this guy. Dr. Octopus. Crap. Science Squid. Awful. Doctor Strange. That's actually good. But it's taken.
Right.
That was just great.
But of all the performances in the movie, I mean, it's like you've got everybody and
you got J.K. Simmons
up here. I mean, he probably steals every scene he's in.
He does steal every scene that he is in.
Even at the end,
outrageous.
where he's looking down the aisle to see who's coming up.
Oh no! He's like, call the caterer.
Oh, I know.
Tell her not to open the caviar. Jameson is a riot, and J.K. Simmons, I don't think he'll ever be topped.
No, not only will he not be topped, but he brings the cartoon character to life.
Yes.
The comic book character. He brings him to life right off the page.
There was another comic comparison I was gonna make about... Oh, I have it in my notes. It was actually a really good one. That I liked about this. Where is the... his professor...
Mm-hmm.
in college, is Dr. Connors,
right?
Who is the lizard?
Is it the same actor?
It is not the same actor. It is literally the same character, though. He's even missing the arm, which is the whole reason he becomes a lizard, is because he's trying to regrow the arm. And we will see that in the first Andrew Garfield one in 2 videos.
Was that guy missing an arm in the movie?
Yep.
I never noticed.
I noticed it because he said Dr. Connors. I was like, oh, it's Dr. Connors. That's a cute Easter egg. Oh, he's actually missing the arm. Oh!
I did not notice.
It was really cool, yeah. I'm gonna find this because there's an observation I made about Peter being very obsessive in this. This Peter is very obsessive, and I think that's kind of a trait for Peter in a lot of things. He's very much kind of like gets OCD about like, I'm gonna do this thing. When he's keyed in on poetry, he goes all in on poetry.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
He's very obsessive, and I'm like, okay.
Well, so I have to, while you're searching, I have to reserve judgment on, these are the only 2 Spider-Man movies that I think I've seen beginning to end. So when we move from here, I'm going into totally new territory.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Garfield? No. I've seen the first Andrew Garfield beginning to end, but to be honest with you, I don't think I remember it.
Okay. That's the one with the lizard, and
yes.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't remember any of it.
Found it. I found it.
Okay.
It's my gripe.
Your gripe.
With these movies in particular. All right?
Your one gripe.
No. Not my one gripe.
Oh, gotcha.
Just a gripe.
Okay, a gripe.
What is with these movies and making Peter save every jackass? Every dude who is ever a dick to him, he saves.
If he were a true New Yorker, he'd be like, hey, remember 3rd grade?
Spider-Man is petty sometimes. Even towards the average common folk who give him lip.
Okay.
Not in like, I'm a total dick back to you. In like, oh, I have an opportunity to get some petty revenge. I'm gonna do it. One of my favorites is, it's always with Jameson, which is great. There's a comic, Spider-Man's not even really in it. But it's Captain America sees all the Daily Bugle, headlines about Spider-Man, and he's just fed up with it. So he storms into Jameson's office and starts berating him and talking about, like, I know villains.
Right.
I was in Europe in World War II, and then he notices, because in the comics, I don't know if you noticed, in the comics, Jameson was unfortunately given a Hitler stash.
Yes.
Which they did not do for this one.
Right.
They gave him a full mustache. Smart move. They've gone away from that.
Right.
Obviously. They make the joke with Captain America looking at him, and they zoom in on it. Forcing Jameson to shave his stash. Because Captain America said, hey, not a good look. The whole thing is Captain America going to Jameson and saying, like, you need to stop writing bad about Spider-Man.
Sure.
Because that man is a hero. I have served with heroes, and I also know what evil looks like, and that's when they focus on the mustache.
Gotcha.
And then the next shot is Spider-Man in a hammock reading outside the Daily Bugle, reading a newspaper headline where it's like, Spider-Man saves the day. And then he looks up from the newspaper and waves at Jameson, who has to shut the blinds because he's so mad. He turns around and he's shaved. That's the petty revenge I like to see, because it harms no one. It hurts no one. It's just petty. It's hilarious. And it's just great. I wish we saw more of that. Especially because in these movies, he's never getting the food. He never gets the hors d'oeuvres. He doesn't get the drink at the party.
Right.
The usher is always a dick to him. The people he's delivering pizzas to, his boss.
The boss was right.
I mean, the boss was right, but like, seriously, at some point you look down and you're like, if your business is so important that this pizza delivery is going to make or break your business, as you are making it out to be, right, you wouldn't be waiting till the 7.5 minute mark for your delivery boy. You would have taken that 15 minutes ago yourself.
Yes.
You jackass. Yeah. It's like, I understand he was right about Peter being late. These movies in particular, though, really like to beat down on Peter, and at a certain point as an audience, it's getting hard to buy into it.
Yeah.
The bank teller was unnecessarily a jackass. A piece of webbing on his hand when he picked up the gold coin would have been funnier than May slapping it. I'll be real honest. Would have and then he's stuck there for the rest of the scene. Would have been funny. I wish we got more of that in these movies, is what I'm realizing.
May was fun. May was fun. She was very well performed. She was good.
Yep. She's a solid May.
Yep.
Her waking up and saying, "What has it been?" That one kind of hurt. Mm-hmm. She wakes up at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm like, I kind of thought that was a little, I don't know.
If they didn't double down on it afterwards, it probably would have hit harder.
Yeah.
If they had just let that be a subtle, like, Ben. And then she tries to move on.
I've told you before about Elsie May.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about her husband John, and 25 years after he died, and she looked at me and she said, I would give everything for 1 hour to sit and talk to him at the table.
Yep.
After he was gone for 25 years. It broke my heart when I heard her say that, but it let me know how much she truly loved her husband and how much she missed him.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that. I don't like the way it was performed, but the emotion, very real.
Oh yeah. The irony is of this is a fun nod, I believe, if it was intentional of Doc taking May hostage, is that in the comics Doc Ock courts Aunt May at a certain point, and they try to get married. That is an actual comics line.
Goodness. That's ugly. Oh my goodness. Isn't that ugly? Doc Ock is Peter's stepdad. Honey, you don't know what he can do with those arms.
Oh boy. Okay. Have we run out of this movie?
What do you think of Spider-Man 2? Leave your comments down below. I want to leave you with that image imprinted in your soul.
Okay.
If you like what you find here at Pork Chops, Rice, and Peaches, consider hitting the subscribe button. We love your comments. We will respond to as many of them as we can.
And stick around because the bad one is next. Bye.
See ya.